Hello everyone, this is your host Chubby, and today's level is a level 4 elephant. And yes, this is episode 89. We are that much closer to episode 100, and I am looking forward to it. And you already know, we are here with host Angel. Say hi.
Hi.
I always have to keep telling her to actually speak because no one could hear a wave unless you're watching the actual episode.
I understand that now. I understand.
It's
The
okay.
waves don't make noise, but still, it's from here.
Maybe we had a fake one, like a fake wave, when
That worked for me.
yeah. Okay, so today's Wednesday. So yesterday was International Women's Day. So we just wanted to say thank you to everyone out there who has been fighting for women's rights, who has paved the way for us to keep our rights, and future, present, and past. We just want to say thank you and happy International Women's Day to everyone out there. And today's episode is called Personal Recap. So me and Angel were talking, right? And it's been a rough couple of years, right? It's been a rough one. So we decided to see where we started, and have you ever seen that meme that says like how it started and how it's going, or how it right, that's how it goes, like how it started and how it's going. So how did we start this last couple of 2 years? Like, how in your end did you see yourself where you are today, or like how has this journey, like what the hell has happened, what's going on?
It has been a roller coaster. It has, good moments, bad moments. When you go on a roller coaster and then you're about to go there. Yeah, I've had a few of those. I wasn't expecting it, but I appreciate it. I met a few people, some good, some bad, some not much of value. And then there's the events that I've experienced that I appreciate. Have that. But I would say that most of the change was due to COVID, because you don't know how much to value something unless you don't have it. Like, for example, not being able to see your friends every day, not being able to go outside as much as you want, because, when you go outside, there's a lot of people. And you don't want to catch yourself into a situation where you catch COVID and you bring it home.
Right.
So there's certain things that I had to learn how to appreciate, being indoors, even though I wanted to go outside, seeing people. But then it's like, yo, you could text them, you could call them, FaceTime.
Right.
No. But I learned to love the small things that I didn't, it's not that I didn't love it, but it's like you love it a lot more. Like the friend that you hang out with, you hug them and then you go home. Right. But it's like you don't realize, you know what, let me give that a greater hug, like a deeper hug, because you never know if that friend, what if your friend gets sick, or what if it's you that's sick, or what if it's a situation where, oh my gosh, I can't see my friend for like 6 months. So the people who have loved ones and whatnot, it's same thing. You may not be able to be with that person because of COVID, or you guys have to spend time apart because of COVID, or whatever the reason may be. I learned to appreciate the little things.
Right. Man, like we talked about before, these 2 years, and it's not just even in COVID, just in general, because obviously, like I said before, I wasn't supposed to be here in the States. My plan 2 years ago was to move to Canada and start, whatever over there, photographing bands, models, starting all over again. But like you said, COVID has had a different, outcome for all of us. It said, nah, that's not what's gonna happen with you all. Like you said, you do learn to appreciate the little things, being here in the States. Spending more time with family, friends, and especially family, even though they claim you're not supposed to hang out with them, but hey, take care of precautions of whatever, and here we are. But it gave me the opportunity to actually start my podcast that I wanted to do 6 years ago. It actually opened the door in the time, because you were not going anywhere. You're not doing anything with your life. You were just here, and if you were fortunate enough to work from home or still keep your job, then that's all you had. You really didn't have anything else. But to me, I was like, everybody decided to start a podcast, right? Everybody and their mama was like, okay, I'm gonna start a podcast. Let me do it, right? So I was like, I didn't want to jump in that bandwagon, even though I knew that wasn't the case. I knew that for me it was a long-term dream that I had, like, for a while. So I was like, okay, let me do it. So I took the plunge, and here we are, about to be 100th episode soon, 2 years later, and we're doing it, right? So to me, gave me that opportunity to pursue something that I wanted to do. Has COVID given you that opportunity to do something you wanted? Like, did it show you, hey, you're missing out on this, or hey, you could do this? Like, how was it for you on that aspect?
Actually, yeah. I've had a few adventures. Can't talk about it. It's very confidential. No, that's not true. But I've had some adventures, you guys. Although I know sometimes we couldn't go outside. Well, at least in the beginning, you couldn't go outside like that. But when we could, I went outside. I saw people. I got to spend time with people. I got to, to spend time, looking at, the world. Well, not necessarily the world, but, I got to take the plunge and go somewhere.
Yeah.
But me, I'm that type where I think about going somewhere and don't go.
Right.
Which I hate that. But, I'm going to get there where I finally say, okay, let me go here and go. I'll do that one day. But, okay, sooner than soon of one day.
I hope so.
But it's just, I took the plunge. I went, enjoyed myself, and now all I want to do is just go.
Right,
so, yeah, I got fire in here.
Right, you did things that you haven't done before. See, that's the difference between you and I. Like, I think about doing something and actually go do it, right? You know me. Okay. So to those that are watching this episode and you're like, okay, we've known each other like literally 200 years, okay? So we've known each other our whole lives, so there's that. And we hung out literally like almost every day. So listen, we're like attached to the hip. So yeah, no, that's the difference. Like, I say I want to do it and I go do it, and if I can't do it, it's because of a third, something else is not letting me do it. But other than that, if it were up to me, I'm doing it. You better get that passport. No, but on a serious note, like, yes, like, at the beginning of the year, you were not allowed to do anything, absolutely anything. You were just confined to your house, and you weren't able to do anything. And some extroverts, introverts, sorry, to some introverts, that is beautiful. I'm like, I don't go out anyway. So, to them, it didn't change their lives. But to those extroverts, to those people that love to be around other people, that love the outdoors, that love being out into the world. Like, I like being out into the world and seeing the beauty in the world. That does get to you, like, at some point you're like, crap, when can we go out? But as long as when you were able to go out, you were taking care of yourself, the precautions, mask, cover yourself, blah, 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 whatever, then that's what matters, right?
Yeah.
But, so, since this is a personal recap, having to stay home, how did that affect your relationship with your household?
Oh, my God. I'll be honest, because at first it looked like it was gonna be a peaceful time. Oh my gosh, I get to see you, I get to wake up. And then it didn't even take a day. It took less than a day, actually. I realized I couldn't stand people. Immediately I couldn't do it. Because, especially when you have to go to work and you get up to go, my mind was like, okay, I gotta get up, I gotta go. I'm gonna see you guys later. It wasn't like that. It's could you guys, could you guys, because I'm gonna be at work, so you don't say nothing because my phone got to ring. It was so hard. It wasn't peaceful at all in the house where I'm at, so I
And,
couldn't work.
right, and that, I guess that's the story of most people. Like we talked about our recent episodes, and obviously it gets uglier than that. With the like the domestic abuse, with verbal abuse, with other people. It gets into that. I was very fortunate enough to have lived alone, you know, and not deal with humans in the household. So in that part, I'm very, very grateful that I didn't have to go through anything that anybody went. It was just me, myself, and I, and just my thoughts and my work and my art, and just focusing on that. But obviously, I wouldn't have. I cannot imagine having to live with other people and have to deal with all that different personalities, obviously, and people, in their mouths. So it's like I could only imagine the stress level. Can you say the stress level was a 10? Can you say that?
On, it began as a 10 because remember, remote work, no one, if you haven't gone through it, when you go through it your first day, you're like, what is this?
Right.
What is this? I can't. And then when we got used to it, it's like, okay, I have a rhythm, but now I have to figure out why I'm still pissed off.
Right.
Obvious that I have a problem here. I just don't know what it is. And then you end up loving it because I don't have to see my supervisor, I didn't, well, the supervisor I had at the time.
Right.
Total,
Right.
just saying. But I didn't have to see, certain people, and the people that I did want to see, well, you text, you call. So it started off horrible. It was an 8. I'd say an
Right.
8. But it became like, the stress level got down, and then all of a sudden, yo, you got to pick up your stuff and come in the next morning.
Right, when we were able to actually be in person with, and that is the thing, I guess, how the year started really, really rough. It was, saying it was terrible is an understatement. And then how it's now progressed to like you're able to go out and hang out, no mask are required. There's still limit, but you need to wear it, depending on where you are in the world, in the country, whatever. But again, and obviously COVID is the main subject here, because the only reason why we were in this whole 2-year span is because of COVID. It's not like the entire world chose to stay home.
No.
No. That would have been crazy if everybody just like, hey, everybody, let's just stay home. But I'm pretty sure you saw this in the news or whatever, how the world itself started changing, how the beaches and the waters and the air pollution, just everything started changing. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like everything just became more cleaner. And obviously, what that means. Humans are the problem, but that's another subject to another. Hey, I did a carbon footprint episode. You guys should go watch it. It's season 3. But hey, I guess to me, it's still a no. I did not picture myself still being here. I just like the fact that I was able to publish my 3rd poetry book and actually like sit with it, and make it the best book I've published, just to make sure that I wasn't rushing it, But
Yeah.
again, like I mentioned before, we're talking about COVID and mentioning it more because it is what brought everything together, how we are today and why we are in the position we are today. Who would have thought that 2 years ago, we would have just been home right now? Like the limit of how much we go out has drastically, obviously, gone down. I don't know about you. I'm still not going to go out, until they tell me COVID is gone, which realistically speaking, would it ever be?
I don't know. I don't know.
And that is the scary part. That is the scary part, that we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know from another year from now. But I know things are getting better, right? I mean, I'm hoping. In a way, I know that here, no
People want
filters.
to party. People want to go outside and have fun. So, I mean, they're doing it now,
And
but
they,
people want to really be amongst people because staying home, some people can't cope.
no, and obviously that affects their mental. I get that. I truly understand that, But what I was gonna say was that I get it. Things are getting better in the aspect of life. We're able to go out or whatever. But I know here, no filters, no fears, we haven't mentioned what's happening in Ukraine, but our hearts go out to them. We there's nothing we can say to make anybody feel better. Nothing we will say will make anything better for them, but we are in solidarity with them. That's why the posting has reduced a little bit, because it sucks. While COVID took so many lives, there's still lives being taken every single day. And
Yeah.
now with Ukraine and Russia and all of that, it's like, how are we supposed to be like, yeah, obviously we cannot, as we said before, we cannot negate the fact that we're doing good. Like, if you're personally doing good and I'm doing good, doesn't mean that just because someone else is doing worse that we need to not be grateful. We could still be good and still feel sympathetic, because things coexist. Obviously, as we're speaking right now, they're still happening over there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just this 2 years has been crazy. It has shown us a lot that not everybody is gonna be on your side about something, like the United States and how that has worked. I don't know, it's been crazy. When was the elections last year? And I mean last year as in like 2020. I'm still stuck in 2021 because it's 2022. You see, like, things like that. Things like that. It's crazy because it is the second year of COVID, but it's the third year. Like, it's 3 years. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but you get it. It's 2.5 years since, but it's not really.
Well,
COVID
it feels like it's 3 years. My God.
Well, yeah, because COVID started in March. Well, let me rephrase all that. In the United States, it was here in March, but it was already out across the world by October of 2019 until it spread everywhere. So nobody knows, man. But this year has been a learning curve. What did you learn from this year?
I love this question. I learned that you make sure you love you, because when you don't love you and then you meet people who pretend to love you, or at least pretend to like you, then it could hurt you. You could,
Right.
oh my gosh, and it changed you and you feel low in your self-esteem. Love you first. Like, love you first, because if you don't, you'll crumble, and then it'll be very, very dreadful year. I just learned to I just learned to think that I'm great. Learn to love me, to appreciate stuff, because I'm just saying, I came across too many people that wasn't worth my time.
Oof.
Like, I
Right.
have people in my life now, and it's like, I don't know how I got them. I don't know how come they've been and they're still with me this long, and we're still gonna keep going on. Because some of us, we're trying to meet new people, add to our friend list. Some people are just trying to, oh, maybe I can pursue love. Listen, love you first. Don't even
Right.
stop yourself. Is number one. Then after that, when you got yourself settled, move forward.
So, what is one thing you told yourself before COVID started that you said you were gonna accomplish or do that either you did or didn't get to do?
I I wanted to travel outside of where I am, like in terms of I wanted to no wait, scratch that. I want to get out of my comfort zone in a more bigger way. I mean, I'm not trying to go bungee jumping. That's not what I mean. I'm I'm trying to get out of my box to actually understand like who I am as a person, to understand myself and my own personality because depending on how a person is raised, you may seem like a total liberal, like a total I'm cool with everything, and then
Right.
not realize how reserved you are. I do not think I'm reserved, but I can't help but look like I am. And yet, if you were to have a conversation with me, oh my gosh, the things that could come out my mouth.
Right.
I'm saying it's just I want to get out my comfort zone safely if possible,
Right.
but to be able to experience things that I didn't expect that I would enjoy.
Hey, that's a good one. That's a good one. Well, what I've been thinking about since where you and I've been chatting right now, it's the fact that some people will or have let the fact that they didn't get to accomplish something make them like they're failures. It's okay to have goals, you know what I mean? And it is okay to not meet those goals because no one's perfect. And it is okay that you failed because now you could get to do it again but better, and learn from your mistakes or whatever. But hey, that's a good introspective way to see stuff. Like, okay, I don't know. For me, I don't even patience, man. I learned how to have patience. I learned how to have. I know I may look like a patient person, but guys, when it comes to technology, being number one will be that. Just you want to see me pissed off? You want to see me lose my shit? Technology. But I have learned to be patient in the aspect of realizing that other people are different and that they will go on their own journey and that you can't control them and tell them to do this 500 billion times because that is their journey. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen regardless, and if it's not, then it wasn't meant to be. Whether or not you have good intentions for them, it's not your life. It's not your say. If it's gonna happen to them, it will. So I learned how to have patience in the fact that I have to let things be, and it will just, it is what it is at that point. But it's hard, man. It's hard to want so much for someone else as much as you would want it for yourself and not see it come to fruition for them because you are that ambitious in a way, I guess, for lack of a better word. But damn, man, sometimes you're like, fuck, I wish that this person was in this way already, or like, because you want so much for somebody else, for other people, and their potential. And like you said, coming out of that comfort box, that's the only way it could happen for some people.
I mean, it's just 2022. Look how slow it, well, I can't even say it's going by that slowly, but look how we're in March. We have all the time. Well, we have the time to get up and be like, you know what? I went to that store and I said, I would, I always wanted to buy this, but I keep saying maybe some other time. This is the year for it, man. Just go buy it. You never know.
Just go do it, right?
I don't know if I like liquor. Take a sip.
Right.
Let's live a little bit, because I'm sorry, like we don't know what tomorrow brings. And the last thing you want to remember about yourself is that you didn't take you didn't push yourself to take that chance. Go get that girl's number. Go do that business you want to do. For the individual that might be thinking, I may want to do this type of adult thing. I don't know. Just try it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you do like it, by all means,
Right, you
let's
never know.
learn more about it.
No, but it's like that quote or that saying that says we regret the things that we didn't get to do, not the things that we actually got to do. And I mean, it's true. I was paraphrasing there, guys. I don't know the actual, but it's something like that. But it's true though. You that hasn't happened to you. Like, damn, I wish I would have went, right?
I've had that. A lot of those.
Right. And I'm that type of person that is like, sometimes I'm like, shit, I wish I didn't go, you know, because when you go and it's like, it could happen either way, right? But no, I mean, again, back to what this episode is about. It's like our life in an episode. Like, okay, what's the last episode gonna be like, right? Like, what is the last thing you wish to do if you had your chance right now? And not the last thing as in your life is gonna end. I mean, but one thing that if you could do, like the other saying goes, if you knew you would not fail, what would you do right now?
Ooh, I got like 6 things in my mind. About 5 can't say out loud.
No.
How I feel. Don't judge me. But if I could, oh man,
That's a tough
like it is tough because like for me, if for any of you, I may look like an extrovert. I am not that at all. I'm an introvert. I'm just saying, but I want the courage to be able to, when when you see someone cool or interesting, and you're like, oh man, that person is so cool and interesting, and then you watch them. Well, gotta go. I want to be that person that stops them and say, hey, you are so cool. Let's hang out. I've never had the courage to do something like that. I mean, yeah,
I mean,
I've never.
that one time we were at Churchill's and you hugged the person that you thought was super cool. You did it.
Did I get his number and do we hang out today? No. So
Of
I didn't have
course. I mean, but you did get the courage to say you wanted to hug them and you did.
Well,
Baby steps.
I
Baby
was
steps.
so scared that day for no reason, but I did take the courage. It's just, I mean, it would have been different if I got his number and we were friends right now. I'm just saying.
But again, a baby step.
You're right, baby. I mean, if you can't do the big jump, then yeah, a baby step will save you. Yes, you're right.
Hey, it will still lead you forward, okay? Baby steps lead you forward, and that's what matters. So the next time we come back here, right, and do an episode, you're going to tell me I talked to someone and I got their number.
Oh my gosh, I'm being bullied. What? Are you kidding me?
Why not?
That feels like I'm...
Oh, no, but I mean, from that one time you hug a stranger to now, that was a while ago. So listen.
Yeah.
But listen, hey, that's all that matters. That you try these things that scare the crap out of you, and that is a beautiful thing. That you are actually able to do it. That you're actually able to say, "Let me go do it." Like, let me try it. And if you failed again, like I said at the beginning, if you failed, try again. And that's all that matters. That you're trying.
So oh my God, this is like homework.
I mean, no pressure there, no pressure. But if you're watching this episode, go do something that you were afraid to do. And you've been in this journey with me about the podcast. I was freaking the hell out saying, oh my God, I'm going to fail. I have no clue what I'm doing. I don't know what it is. How am I going to start this? But I have this brain of mine has a lot of stuff in it that I needed to let out, that I felt like we needed to talk about, especially being an advocate and an activist for multiple things out there in the world. I felt like I needed an outlet to sit here and be like, listen guys, this is what's happening in the world. Don't be ignorant to this. I mean, if you choose to be, that's your problem, but it's okay. But at least learn about it. Like, come on, you know? So, yeah. You know, it was scary, but I did it, and here we are. We're trying. Every day is a struggle to be like, oh my God, is anybody going to care about the next episode? You know? But those are the things that I let go of and then be like, I'm doing this episode for me. I'm doing
Yeah.
this information for me. I am doing what I want to do for me. And like they always say, there's a multiple people out there that's gonna like what I'm doing, and you know, and they're gonna want to join and you know be in the ride with us. That's why we have our true blues, you know, those you know handful of people that are faithfully watching every single episode. So yeah, I'm gonna read a couple of quotes and then you know our final thoughts. So the arts celebrate multiple perspectives. One of their large lessons is that there are many ways to see and interpret the world. Elliot Einstein. That is the beautiful part that we just talked about. It is true. It is true. There's so many things out there that, again, we are simultaneously living two different lives in the same lifetime.
Yes.
That in itself, it's insane. At least to me. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. I agree with that. They always saying, "Oh, but you're 50. You shouldn't what? Go do it." There's no.
I think it's interesting because back in the past, you know how when the youngins would have like, I'm sorry for saying youngins, but excuse my French. But you know how young people were just coloring their hair. And then the older generation, what are you doing?
Right.
Now, I see more individuals, elderly individuals, with colored, like vibrant hair colors. And then I'm like, you probably spoken to yourself. You looked in the mirror and you said, you know what? I keep saying stuff, but you know, let's go outside. Let's go to that barber shop. Let's cut it off. Or let's get the color and understand why I'm talking all this crap. They do it, and then they're like, I look good. What was I talking about?
You know, I'm thinking about ourselves like when we're older. I mean, I have all the piercing tattoos, the hair, no, the whatever, and you know, we've done all the things we could possibly have done in our lifetime. What else is there to do? I mean, I've been there, done that. What else is the people gonna do when I'm older, you know? So it's like, maybe that person you saw with color hair were like that when they were a teenager or a kid. And now that they're older, they're still being true to themselves. Man, that is such a crazy like idea to see what possibility other person could possibly do with their bodies that we haven't done already. Oh, that's crazy. And our last quote, which is very important. Set a goal that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. By The Color Run. And guess what? Make sure that dream is a damn good one. Every single fucking day. And if it doesn't make you like scared, then dream bigger. Bigger. So what are your final thoughts to this your whole life in our 20-minute span?
I mean, I could sit here and tell you, oh my gosh, life is short. Try to figure what you want to do, but no. What I want to tell you is because there are things about ourselves that we still don't understand. Maybe the people that I met that were total jerks were jerks because they didn't know themselves. Or the things that I've experienced happened because of a situation of dang it, it's still a person. The person didn't understand their background and they didn't have to use that as an excuse to push it on someone else. You're important. The concept of self-help, what is it? Self-help?
Self-love?
Self-love, the stuff. I think there was a day where I was at work, well, I missed work. A friend told me, you missed work, okay, don't dread it. It's just you need a day for you. You have to if you take sick days, that's one thing, but there'll be a day where you realize you can't get out of bed because you didn't have that love, the courage that you needed to get out of bed. It's because you didn't put you first that day, or you
Right.
didn't put yourself first that week or last week. So if you don't, eventually it'll accumulate, and then you're like, I can't get out of bed. I can't answer my phone. I don't feel so good. And then it'll become something deeper, like depression or something like that. Put yourself first if you've never done it. Put yourself first. I'm not saying to be selfish because that's a whole different situation. Just learn to say I matter. I deserve it. I care about me, and move forward with that so that you could show yourself I value myself. I don't know how others value me because that's their, their brain, their how they feel. But me, I just love myself. I feel good about myself. That's important. Oh
Yeah.
man, you don't understand. I learned to do that and I feel so good. I feel so good.
No, I mean, once you realize who you are and how you behave and what you like and what you don't like and what you want and what you don't want, life is just more smoother that way. And when you realize what makes you depressed or what makes you happy, what makes you this or that, and what makes you thrive in that, you know, power of like wanting more and more of the happiness and the more the good stuff, then everything else is gonna go smoother. But when you do not know yourself, no, and I agree with you, you need to love yourself. You need to learn what makes you happy and putting yourself first when it matters. When you know that, like I always say to you, why are you gonna work your ass off and not take days off, not take your sick time, not if you're able to do it. But don't, I mean, yes, I get it. This world was man-made and blah 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 blah. But you can't take it to so serious to the point where you forget that you need a rest day. If you physically can't, you mentally can't anymore. You need it. Reach out and be like, I can't do this anymore. I need a day off. I need to take a mental day. Because if you don't take care of yourself, and you've mentioned this before, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. You can't be around anybody else. And like you said, you will wake up one day and realize you can't. So on that note with Angel, I completely agree. Always put yourself first. And another thing, your dreams matter. If anybody out there is telling you, oh, like I always heard, oh, stop being, you get a real job. To all those artists out there, your job is real. Being an artist full time is a real job.
I mean, if you went to bed thinking about it and you woke up with the same thing, trust me, that to me, that's work right there.
It's work. Putting what matters to you first, like having that dream that this is what you're gonna do for the rest of your life, that is work. That is a real job. Being an artist full time, because doing what you love is not work, but it is. It's you're providing for yourself. You're in your euphoric mode 24/7. Sometimes you're frustrated because artists, and I know out there imposter syndrome exists and everybody gets it, and you feel like your work is not good enough and that no one's gonna want it and that I shouldn't because somebody else is better. Yes, they're better in that thing and you're better in this thing, right? So again, I know that that's always hard. Like us, like I'm a writer, so I'm like, damn, this person's such a great writer. Yeah, but they're a great writer in that particular way. You're a great writer in your own right. Again, your dreams matter. So you want to open a restaurant, you want to open a studio, you want to open a library, you want to open a daycare, whatever it is. If it's business adventure like that, go do it. You want to start painting, you want to start whatever it is in your life you want to do it. Because those other voices that are telling you no, 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 is because they probably have possibly failed and they're like, no, there's no point.
Yeah, like it didn't work for me, so it won't work for you.
Right, like my dad always told me, being an artist is not gonna get you anywhere, and I have proved him wrong. your art matters and your art will save you. And I always have said that, and I'm targeting artists because we are basically the minority. Like, oh, that's not a real job. Like, it is. I'm not working for nobody else. You are not doing anything for anybody else but yourself. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a an audience for what you're doing. There always will be. Hello, there's 7.8 billion people in this world. Somebody's gonna like what you do. If one person doesn't like it, okay, then move on.
To the next person.
It's easier said than done because obviously, again, imposter syndrome, and you start doubting yourself and blah 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 blah. But again, and if you had a dream and it didn't realize right now, it didn't finalize, it didn't happen, it's okay. There's plenty. We say there's plenty of time, even though time is also constructed by man. But your time will come, I should say. Just live your most authentic self. Live for yourself. Live for you, because again, we only have this one human body that we're experiencing, right? And we can't fail it. We can't not let it. We need to thrive in all the ways.
Have adventure.
Oh, always an adventure. Always.
Hey, I'm pretty sure you have that, you got that neighbor person that you've always wanted to say hi to. Say hi. Hello. You don't have to run and go get a number and be like, thirsty face. Please don't be thirsty. No. Be realistic. Start with a hi.
Right.
Or if it's the neighbor, or like if it's someone where you, oh my gosh, I just want to do it. The worst they could do is say no.
Right.
And guess what? You'll be fine.
At the end of the day,
you'll be fine.
At the end of the day, whatever negative thing is out there, if it hasn't physically affected you in a way, emotionally maybe, because always, but you'll be fine. So again, your dreams matter. I'm gonna leave it at that. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching our episodes. Thank you for just staying here and listening to us talk. We appreciate it. I hope you guys liked this episode and that it made you think about your own life, like your own things that you've done, and realize that it is okay to fail sometimes. It is okay to feel the things you feel, but you cannot let the outside world dictate how you're gonna move forward with your own life.
Exactly.
Because that's where the problem lies. When society, right? Because society is apparently the one controlling everybody's life, everybody's body, telling you what to do. That's the problem. But until next episode 90, which I'm very excited. We're gonna go to season 9, and I don't know, have no clue what we're gonna talk about, but I hope you guys stay with us and see what comes up. Do you have anything else to say?
I mean, if you guys, when you have the chance, reach out, let us know how you think and feel, if you don't mind. We want to know your opinions. I want to know about your life, your adventures, I'm not trying to live vicariously through you. I'm just saying I just want to know a little bit. Just a little bit. Just because, you all are interesting. It just can't be just about us. Just say something. Give us something.
Right. Definitely. And, well, you already know. Like we always say, thank you for watching, everyone.